What's up, Wings fans? Welcome to the last edition of the Forecheck for the season. I'm Daniella Bruce, joined by Kal. Ken, can you believe it's the last game already?
Where did the season go,
I know,
Daniella?
it flew. But one thing I did want to talk about to kick this off, you and I didn't get to discuss Tyler Bertuzzi last time because that last home game against Pittsburgh, he had a great night.
He certainly did, and he's been all everything for the Red Wings, and what a player he is. And what amazes me about Tyler Bertuzzi is he's a plus 12 player on a team with a minus 41 goal differential, and he just seems to get to the front of the net to where the puck is, and he's not afraid to go into the corners, and usually wins the battles coming out of the corner too. It's been terrific all season long, and boy, just a big improvement from last year to this year, and hopefully it'll continue to improve next year as well.
In a stat that seemed to have everybody a little bit surprised, he's the first Red Wing in franchise history to have 4 straight three-point games.
That is amazing when you
Right?
think of guys like Shanahan and Yzerman and Fedorov, and the list goes on and on, Dino Ciccarelli. But that is an amazing record to have, and well-deserved too, because in those games he was probably the Red Wings' best player.
And you're looking at this graphic here, that is the entire NHL. So the last time it was done in the whole league is 05-06, which is pretty incredible.
And look at those names: Keith
Right.
Tkachuk, Patrick Marleau, Forsberg, Lemieux, Yager. I mean, these are some really top-notch players, and for him to be in that category says something about him and his play.
And along with Tyler Bertuzzi finishing out the season strong, there are some other Red Wings that have been finishing on that high note. Dylan Larkin, Anthony Mantha, Andreas Athanasiou being some of them.
And they've all contributed offensively, especially in the last 10 to 12 games for Detroit. Dylan Larkin's been terrific all season long, and you see the numbers right there on the screen, and just simply amazing. And I still say Anthony Mantha would reach that 30-goal mark if he didn't miss 15 games due to injury. But with that said, I really would like to see some balanced scoring on this club. And we saw it in the last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, Daniella, where the top line was shut down and Pumple scored the lone goal, came on the power play, but that's when you need your other lines to step up and score.
Definitely. And it did seem like that's something the Red Wings are trying to do, bringing in guys like Taro Hirose, Ryan Kuffner. So is that something we can look for in this offseason?
That, and also when you're looking at the Red Wings finally have some money to spend, and they can go out and really get some free agents to try and help boost that offense as well, and see if they can get some players that can complement the players that we talked about and really give the Red Wings some balanced scoring.
And as we talked about, this is the last game of the season. Carly Johnston was in the locker room this morning for some guys' final thoughts.
Thanks, guys. It's Fan Appreciation Night here at Little Caesars Arena for the last game of the season for the Red Wings. We were in the locker room after morning skate and heard from Coach Blashill and some of the players as they reflected on the season and looked forward to tonight's game against the Buffalo Sabres.
But overall, I do think that it's another step in the right direction. Of course, we all want to win here. We all want to play in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we're not good enough. We're not there yet. I do still believe, maybe I'm naive, but I still believe that when everyone's healthy, we should be right there and competing for a playoff spot.
I also am a realist. I think part of a growth process is learning, and a lot of times there's lots of bumps in the road when you do that, and you go through hard times to get to better times. That's the reality. I don't know too many people who have had success in life who didn't have to go through hard times to get to that spot, and I think it's the same with a hockey team, and I've spoken lots about that, and there's different stages of it. Sometimes you're a perennial playoff team and you got to learn how to win the big ones. Sometimes you're a team like us that's gone through I guess you call it rebuild, transformation, whatever you want to call it, where you've lost some great players over time, and now you're starting to hand the team off to younger players that you hope become great and can lead you to a better future. And I think in that there's going to be a learning curve, a huge learning curve, and it's not going to go smooth, and there's going to be a lot of lessons that have to be learned. And sometimes when young players are learning lessons, they take steps backwards to go forwards. That's happened at different times with different players in this room. We've gone through all that. I hope, I've said this lots, I think our arc is starting to head in the right direction.
Looking to end the season on a high note tonight with a big win against the Sabres. And we just wanted to say thank you, fans, for all your support. Back to you guys.
And Ken, you heard Nicholas Cromwell say it. He thinks they're heading in the right direction, along with Coach Blashill. And heading in the right direction means they're going to have to do well in the draft this year, no matter where they fall. And that's where tonight's game is a little bit. It's a bigger game than people might see when it comes to the standings, seeing that the Sabres and Red Wings are tied for that 4th spot in the draft lottery.
They could flip-flop right there from 4 to 5 and vice versa. But again, it's a lottery, and you know, you're hoping for luck is what you're hoping for. And whether you finish 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's always that opportunity where you can finish 1, 2, or 3. And you know, that's, I think, where the Red Wings are hoping to finish up. What's important for the Red Wings right now is the fact that they want to play well, and they have been over the last 10 to 12 games, and they want that good feeling to carry over into next season.
And they have quite a few picks in this draft from previous trades, such as the Nyquist trade this season and the Tatar trade last season.
Absolutely, and the more kicks at the can you have, I think the better off you're going to be. You know, history shows that your number 2 picks really don't do too well, but again, the Red Wings over the last couple of years have picked some pretty good players, and hopefully the number 2 picks will make it one day in the NHL and in with the Detroit Red Wings. But again, the more chances you have, the better your odds are as far as getting players that'll play one day.
And before we get to talking some prospects that will be in this upcoming draft, we just saw the standings there. The Sabres and the Red Wings both near the bottom, playing for a draft lottery. What can we expect out of tonight's game?
Well, I just think that both teams really want to get a quick game in, nullify the icings, get a fast game in, and what's really important for the players is they don't want any injury, because it is really terrible when you got to go through the summer rehab. And these guys have played so much hockey in 82 games. They want to leave the game tonight healthy, rest their bodies up a little bit, and then get ready for the regular season, which will start next September.
Definitely. Well, let's take a look at our last 2 prospects heading into this 2019 draft. It's Kaapo Kakko and Jack Hughes, the projected 1 and 2 picks. You know, I've actually seen them flip-flopped a few times with Kakko going 1, Hughes going 2. Talk a little bit about these guys and what you think the major difference is.
Well, they're both gems of the draft this year, and you know, no matter what you're looking for, you're going to get a solid player in either Hughes or Kakko. And you know, Kakko's a multi-tool winger with a lot of size and coordination, impressive puck skills, plays a physical, competitive brand of hockey, likes to work in the corners. He's also got that wide stride, and we talked about that from other players. And then when you look at Jack Hughes, people have been looking at him over the last 2 years. I mean, he is just deceptive, and he's got a great wrist shot. He's got hawk-like vision, and you know, manages to skate well. And you know, he's the master at deception out there on the ice. He can really pass and skate. And I think when it's all said and done, if the number 1 team gets the number 1 pick, they're going to select Jack Hughes.
Yes, definitely, which could be the Avalanche with the trade in Ottawa. So that could be very interesting. Looking forward to that draft. Ken, thanks for doing this. It's been a very, very fun season.
Been a lot of fun, and for the fans out there, thanks for your support here on Fan Appreciation Day, and we look forward to seeing you all in September and October next year.
Exactly, and as Ken said, it is Fan Appreciation Day. We've got a lot going on down here at the arena before the game starts at 7 p.m. It's a beautiful day. Stuff's going on outside. You'll definitely want to get down here if you're heading to the game. If not, you can catch it live on Fox Sports Detroit or tune in to 97.1 The Ticket with your very own Ken Kal. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next season.